Hello, this is Dr. Pat for the 7 Systems Plan. Thank you for joining me for this short video. A lot of you have read my book and many of you are going through my online course right now. There's a lot of tremendous information there, and I want to give you a little foundation today with what to eat and how to use your food journal. The first thing I'd like you to do is to choose the number of calories that you will eat per day. And you can see we've got ranges from 1,000 to 1,900 calories. And those calories are very important. Now you're going to have plenty of food to eat. You don't have to deprive yourself, but it's important to restrict calories if you want to lose weight. So choose between 1,000 and 1,900 calories. In general, I like ladies to be in the 1,300 calorie range if you're overweight, and men to be between 1,600 and 1,900 calories each day. The most important thing is to eat the right foods from the right groups in the appropriate amount. So you can see we've got the foods listed on the left. And then you can take those foods and enter them into your food journal. Now you're supposed to get a specific number from each group. Refer to the book for that. On that food journal, I want you to record your sleep and the first meal of the day and then total up your calories for that. Snacks, we are going to try to eliminate. That's your first big step. We're restricting the number of times you eat in a day. Then you record your midday meal and the calories, no snack again, the evening meal and calories, and then you'll total up your calories for the entire day and put in the amount of water that you're consuming. We want lots of water, and the exercise that you're doing. The next section is where you cross off those food groups. Now that's going to make it very easy for you to see if you're missing groups regularly, and then you can focus on that. At the bottom, we're going to put the stress reduction technique that you do. Now, in a course, we're going to go into detail on techniques you can use, but there's some simple ones in the book as well that will only take you a few minutes. The last thing I want you to record is how you feel that day, and that will be important for a number of things as you progress. Here's an example of a patient who did pretty well on her food journal. She missed a few sections, but got the calories and got most of the food groups in every day. And then if you look at the picture on the day on the right side, you can see she did not eat until the evening and then only consumed 525 calories. Now that's called the 5-2 plan or the 23-hour fast, and that is a powerful step in speeding up your progress. Let's talk about eating real food. I want you to get good at eating real food, and I want you to make it enjoyable. And we'll give you recipes every class that I teach that only take a few minutes to put together and can be very tasty. The Daily Dozen food group number 1 is concentrated proteins. Now we have the serving size listed here, so pay attention to that. And then there are lots of choices for you. Now in general, I want you to try to get good at consuming less animal protein and more plant protein. Now you don't have to become a vegetarian, but decreasing your meat intake will help many things, as you will learn. The second food group is legumes, and this is a group that most Americans do not eat very often. It is a very important and powerful group. Now there's a few exceptions to people that should be using these, but for most people, just try to get in a half a cup of beans per day. Here's another way you can get in legumes. I always have some hummus in my refrigerator, and you can dip your vegetables in them. They can be very tasty. There's lots of different flavors, so find one that you like. Next is the dairy/dairy alternative section. In general, I'm not a big dairy fan. I think it would be better to move away from them and use more dairy alternatives. But some butter is okay, some yogurt is okay. in general, the dairy alternatives are a better choice. There are lots of dairy alternatives today, so it's not difficult to find them. The next food group is nuts and seeds. Do you know you can decrease all causes of mortality 20% per day by just eating some nuts and seeds? It's not difficult to do. There's a whole variety of them. Pistachios, walnuts, almonds, Brazil nuts, those are at the top of the most healthy list. Refer to my video on this in the 7 Systems course. All you need to do is get a small handful in every day, and these are very tasty. Look at our YouTube channel for some tips on making raw nuts even tastier. The next food group is the low glycemic vegetable group. Now this needs to be a significant part of your diet. I'd really like you to try to load half your plate with low glycemic vegetables every day and mix it up. Don't get in the habit of eating the same things every single day. Vegetables are one of the most powerful things that you can consume every day to tremendously improve your health, and they are extremely low in calories. So stick with a lot of category 1, low glycemic index vegetables. We can also consume some vegetables from the medium glycemic index group. Now we don't want to go too heavy from this group, but some of them are okay. You can consume some every day. Squash and sweet potatoes are extremely high on my list of things that I use for this category, and you can make these things very tasty. You can even make those sweet potatoes into sweet potato fries. Cut them like fries and put them under a broiler, and they're very tasty. The next food group is fruits. I'd like you to eat 1 or 2 fruits per day. That's not difficult. And here's a tip on fruits. If you eat an apple before a meal, you're going to be more satisfied and eat less calories. Try to get a couple of these in every day. And again, mix it up. Try lots of different ones. Grains are something that I do not want you to go overboard with, so make sure you stick to the serving size. And when we're using grains, we do not want to use refined grains, so stick with the ones that are whole grains. And some of these are very healthy and very good for you. Oils are the next group that I want you to focus on. Now, I do not want you to skip this group. It is extremely important. Your body needs healthy oils every day. So we want to cut out the bad oils. And my top 2, I've got them in bold on the left, olives and avocados. I'd like you to try to consume these every day. Now, if you can't get those in, using the oils is all right. But it's always better to go back to the plant as far as possible when you consume things. Functional food and vitamins are the end of the section here. I don't want you to skip the functional foods. Now, if you have not watched my functional food video, please refer to that. It'll give you the overview of it, but let me just briefly talk about functional foods. So what is a functional food? It is a food formulated for the specific dietary management of a disease or condition with distinctive nutritional requirements that cannot be met by diet alone. And there are many of these diseases and conditions. Functional foods are loaded with vitamins and minerals. In fact, I tell my patients if you can only take 1 supplement a day, the functional food will be at the top of the list. And they include the forms of these supplements that are most helpful and most likely to get into your body, like the folic acid form. 1/3 of the people in the United States cannot convert folate to its active form, but if you're taking this supplement, then you don't have to worry about it because it's already the active form. These functional foods also have a very low glycemic index, and those foods help decrease insulin. There's 15 published studies showing increased satiety, that's not a bad thing to have as you're trying to lose weight, and delayed return of hunger. If you're going to use these functional foods, I suggest that you use them as the first meal of the day because they help you make much better food choices throughout the day. Do they work? Double-blind, placebo-controlled studies show 35 times greater decrease in triglycerides, 3 times greater decrease in fasting insulin, 44% lower levels of fasting glucose, over 4 times greater decrease in your blood sugar 2 hours after you have eaten. If you look at studies comparing a good diet to a good diet with functional foods, you see significantly more progress in every area. In my patients, I see a lot faster weight loss, faster system fix, lower cholesterol and triglycerides than trying to correct these things with diet alone. Cardiometabolic is one of my favorites if you've got lipid problems or blood sugar problems. The nice thing about these functional foods is they all help with weight loss. So if you're trying to lose weight, any of them are great. Muscle, the daily meal is really good for building muscle. Heart disease or diabetes, the cardiometabolic. If you've got gut problems, leaky gut, inflammatory bowel syndrome, any of those type of things, the GI Restore is a great one. Any kind of inflammatory problem can be helped with the Inflammies. And then the detox is a great formula to just detoxify your body. In general, let's talk about vitamins. So the functional food, number one most important thing that you can take. Other things that are very helpful are the essential multivitamin and the D3 5000 with K2. I'm a huge fan of D3, and you'll know that if you've read my book or are going through my course. The Omega Pure, it's another source of good fats. The Omega Pure 1000 has both EPA and DHA in it. You need both of those. And lastly, probiotics. Now, they're definitely not the least important. If you just take this probiotic and do nothing else, it will help you lose significant amounts of weight. But it also improves your gut health, helps your brain, helps every part of your body. Exercise is the next thing I just want to mention to you. At least start walking. Please try to give me 30 minutes a day. And I'd like you to progress your exercise routine as you go through the course. It will make everything get back to optimal much quicker. Do not forget the water. I want you to try to drink at least 8 glasses of good water per day. I'd like you at some point to get a good filtration system because tap water and bottled water are poor options. You can have some caffeine, but don't go crazy with the coffee because it can stimulate your appetite. Herb teas, green teas are wonderful. Sparkling and mineral water are okay as well. Last thing I'm going to mention, I want you to do something for stress every day. We've got some simple 2-minute techniques in the book, and we dive into stress in significant detail in our online course. Let me wrap it up by giving you 4 things you can do to jumpstart your progress, and I want you to get to your health goals quickly. Number 1, eat real food. I've mentioned the groups. Learn to eat real food and make the food in a way that's very enjoyable. Get each of the food groups in daily. Each of these food groups do significant things to your body. They are all needed. Number 3, be accurate with your food journal. Journaling will double your progress. So I want you to really hit the food journal hard. And lastly, Do your daily dozen every day. Hey, this has been Dr. Pat for the 7 Systems Plan. I hope you are making great progress, and please feel free to share your progress on our Facebook pages. Thank you.